We're live. Live. We are live. We are live. We are absolutely live. And yes, there's smoke. That's okay. It's just incense getting me in the mood with a little music in the background. Hi. Welcome to episode 153 of the continuing trials of Lovecraft Cocktails. Doing tiki and various other assorted drinks for you
when we're not ready.
When we're not ready, every freaking week. Yep. Okay. Well, it's been an interesting weekend. It's had some highs. It's had some lows. It's just had some generic weirdness.
Weekend? Yeah.
Yeah. We had 60-mile-an-hour winds here, which really aren't that insane from Midwestern standards, who got really hammered. But it was enough to take down some of our electricity, and last night we were trying to do a broadcast with some of
Zoom with some friends.
Right. We were trying to do a Zoom with some of my friends from, well, high school, or in some cases pre-high school, and we kept cutting in and out, and it was kind of bad on our part, but all went fine. We got candles, we've got some, forms of light, so it was all good eventually. And this morning when we woke up, we had power. So, that's more than a lot of people in the Midwest could say that today. So, that's pretty awesome. We started the weekend off really, really well. Friday night, we celebrated a friend's birthday at Jose Andres' flagship restaurant in D.C., Minibar, which is molecular gastronomy and fancy schmancy stuff.
Dinner theater.
It is dinner theater and not in the sort of acting kind of thing. No, it is a presentation. Yes. Every course was a presentation. Some of it was them putting the course together in front of you, or creating the course sort of on the fly from the ingredients that were in front of you. And it was amazing. It was wonderful. It bounced.
Food porn. It's on my Facebook.
Yeah, so if you actually want to see what the courses look like from that, you can go to Star's Facebook, and she's got a course-by-course picture and some form of description, usually, of it on there. So yeah, absolutely fantastic meal. I am going to delve into the political waters just a tad, because, there was an indictment handed down, even though it's sealed, and I'm not going to jump on anybody's case here, but I am going to take the opportunity to make a drink that I'm going to call the Dark and Stormy Daniels, because I just think that has to be done, and just for the pun alone, I don't care what your, I almost said religious, political beliefs are. Trying not to be political here, but that's going to be fun. It's going to be. We should drink some rum though, because that's what we should do, right?
Yes.
We should do that. I'm going to go with a little bit of boringness here in one sense. And that is this is one of the bar staples. This is one of the things that I will always have on my bar so long as they make it, because it's just that good, a solid rum. It's not an exceptionally fine rum by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a solid example of a blended Jamaican rum, and we usually use this in cocktails. We haven't had a sit down and taste this. I'm not sure that the 57% is going to allow us a whole lot of tasting notes, but we'll see. So we're going to do a little tasting of the Smith & Cross with a little toast to start us off. Oh, right. Usually do 3 cocktails, so the third event was some bad news that we got today, and we're going to do a tribute to a family member who sadly quite suddenly passed away either last night or this morning, and so we will do that as our third cocktail, and apparently end on a really bummer note. I didn't think about that, but wow, that's going to be really dark given that our sign-off slogan is "The end is nigh." All right, well, we'll go with it. Do you got a moment, hun?
Yeah.
To friends and family.
Friends and family.
And may rum bring us together. Careful at Smith and Cross.
That's good. That is, I mean, it's hot, but it's not burning hot. It's complex. It's got layers to it.
There's almost a little nuttiness to it at the end.
I can see that.
There is definitely vanilla notes in there. There's a hint of funk. Normally you think Jamaican. No, it's a little more than a hint.
Yeah.
At the very end, like especially the, what's it called? At the end of the finish.
Yeah, the finish.
As it just sits there and hangs out, that funk becomes a lot clearer.
Yeah.
What is that flavor? I know that flavor that it finishes on. It's probably, in my brain, it's probably, oh, that flavor? Yeah, that's Smith and Cross. But caramel? Butterscotch. It's a caramely butterscotch note.
There's a little bit of yellow raisin.
Yeah, the little sultana kind of flavor. Yeah. Not like a sherry has that deep dark raisin. No, this is a lighter raisin.
Like a yellow raisin.
Yeah, it's
golden raisin.
It's clearly not. It's clearly not grapey. It's raisiny.
Right.
Yep. Yep. And has that. It's not at all a sweet rum.
No, it's not a sweet rum.
It is not a sweet rum, but it makes you think of sweet things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've done our little toast. We talked a little bit about what we're going to do. We got some music playing in the background. It's a shuffle.
I can't say hi to anyone because I'm not looking at comments yet.
Right. Oh, what? Maybe I can look at comments. Can I look at comments? There should be comments. There are comments. Sarah's on. Elizabeth is on. Michelle is on. Bruce is on. Excellent. I'm just trying now. Bruce, cool shirt. Thank you, Bruce. Yep, this is a Godzilla shirt with various different forms of Godzilla on it, some of which are officially licensed and some of which probably aren't, but that's okay. I like Godzilla. I've got a bumper sticker. It's not actually on the car, but I do have the bumper sticker that says Godzilla is my totem animal. I don't think it's appropriate to put it on the car because Star drives the car most of the time, and Godzilla is definitely not her totem animal.
No, more like Eeyore.
Right. Unless you get her really mad, and then, yeah, don't do that. No, that's bad. So we did, as I said, we went to Minibar, the Jose Andre flagship restaurant in D.C. that was closed throughout COVID, but they are back. They have a fairly lengthy waiting list to get into the restaurant, but we went there for a friend's birthday. Had a wonderful time.
Former guest on Quarantiki.
Former guest, yes. Both he and his wife were former guests. We went to Minibar. They opened at 5, and I was going to say how long we spent there, but I don't actually know because after Minibar, when we were stuffed, but kind of feeling like we still wanted to have some time out, we went to Archipelago and had a couple rounds of drinks and some rum afterwards.
Well, I think as we were beginning to end at Minibar, you looked and said, "Oh, it's only 7:30. We could still go to Archipelago."
Was it really 7:30? Was it that early? We probably didn't get out.
No, we weren't done.
Right, we could get out of Archipelago. Yeah. We got to Archipelago 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still pretty early when we got to Archipelago, and we made it home like 11:30 or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a long night, but it was a great night. With their second seating at Minibar is 8:30. I think that's right. So we probably were out of there by 8, but still, that's a 3-hour sit-down meal. And well, we did not walk away hungry by any stretch of the imagination. It was very cool, very awesome. Knocked one of our restaurants out of our top 5 meals we've ever had. And Minibar took that spot. So I'm not entirely sure where it ranks in those 5, but it is now in the top 5.
We don't rank the top 5.
We don't rank the top 5.
The top 5.
There's just a cutoff, right? And the restaurant that went off the list out of the top 5 no longer is in business. Right. So there you go. Can't do that. Anyway, so
it can't earn its way back in.
Right. Mini bar, great restaurant. Jose Andre also has right around the corner and connecting to them Bar Mini, which is fancy cocktails, and they serve part of the menu from the fancy dancy Bar Mini over at Mini Bar. Is that confusing yet to anybody? It is to me. Anyway, Star looked at the cocktail menu and we decided to not go with the wine pairings for the meal. We decided to order cocktails. And one of the cocktails on there was the Lapu Lapu. And we've made the Lapu Lapu on here before, but in honor of the wonderful meal that we had at Mini Bar, we're going to go ahead and have and make another Chief Lapu Lapu.
Woohoo!
So let's do that, right? Let's do a Chief Lapu Lapu. So this is shaken, so I'm going to need a mixing tin. A tin. Can I do that? Here. What is this? No, that's not what I want. This is what I want. We'll use... Have you noticed, since I got this shaker set, I've been using this one like constantly, even to the point of rinsing this out.
Oh, Brooke was drinking Smith & Cross with us.
Excellent. Good choice, Brooke.
And Bruce just had a sip off his Smith & Cross bottle.
Excellent. See, this is what we get when we don't go into like the really rare stuff, is when we go to something like Smith & Cross, y'all can join us with, and y'all, if you like rum, and you like Jamaican rums in particular, you should definitely have some Smith & Cross on hand. It really is quite a yummy, strong, workhorse of a rum for your bar. So please do that. Anyway, what are we doing for the Chief Lapu Lapu? Normally I would play around with this, but we're behind, right? We were still juicing when we started, so we're going to do this pretty much straight up to the menu as best I can, or to the recipe best I can. So 1 ounce of simple syrup. See, this is normally where I go off book and I do something like hibiscus syrup or something along those lines, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go 1 ounce homemade simple syrup. I'm not going to tell you that you can't buy simple syrup. I have bought simple syrup. Usually when I'm traveling, because it's just easier and more convenient to do that. But if you're at home, making simple syrup is really, really easy. Either equal parts or 2-to-1 sugar, usually white sugar, to water. Heat it enough in order to get the sugar to dissolve. Done. Bingo. Let it sit. Then that's simple syrup, sugar simple syrup. Easy peasy. We need 2 ounces of lemon juice. And this says lemon juice on it, so that'll work. This is a big cocktail, by the way. So we're going to go with 2 ounces of lemon juice. And I better not mess this up because I don't know that we have enough juice to do another one. So,
it's another lemon.
Okay, so we have plenty of lemons. I have fresh fruit sitting over here. Yeah, we went out and bought fresh fruit today, but I'm trying to use up the fruit that we had. 3 ounces of orange juice. Oh, that's going to be close.
Do I need to do another orange?
Yep. Sorry. So I know we get 2 ounces out of here. Here is another orange. Pour you. Right there. Sorry about that. So this requires 3 full ounces of orange juice. And we are, yeah, that's what was in there was right about 2 ounces. So, yep, I'll hand this back to Star. She will deal with that. So remember, somebody stop me before I start shaking this cocktail. That I need
1 more ounce.
1 more ounce of orange juice in here. 1.5 ounces of a dark Jamaican rum. Well, what the heck? We just had the Smith & Cross out. Why don't we go ahead and use the Smith & Cross? So 1.5 ounces. And that's 3/4 ounce and 3/4 ounce. So we're going to do that. So I was commenting on the music. So the music is a combination of exotica and some surf rock and a lot of blues, with the elements of the blues coming from folks like Eric Clapton and Samantha Fish and Nina Simone's blues singing. So a very eclectic mix of blues here as well, which I really, really like this combination. It may not be the most tiki combination, but that's okay. I can listen to tiki anytime I want. My show, I can futz with the music how I wish. Okay, so what did we do? That was
brother back there. Is that why you're standing at this door?
no, brother's over on the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's waiting for you to come back.
Just standing at the door.
Yep, we need 1.5 ounces of a light rum. So this is 1 ounce syrup, 2 ounces of lemon, 3 ounces of orange, 1.5 ounces of a dark Jamaican, and 1.5 ounces of some light rum. I'm going to go flavor profile light rather than color light, and we're going to use an Angostura 1919. Angostura is a Trinidadian rum. It is done very much in the same style as Cuban and Puerto Rican rums, so I think it will be just fine here. The only issue might be the coloration of the cocktail, and frankly, with these ingredients, yeah, it's not going to be gorgeous anyway, right? So we need 1.5 ounces. And there's 3/4. And come on, right up to the line. On the line, there we go, 3/4 of an ounce. There we go. By the way, big shout out to all of the high school and pre-high school friends that showed up for the broadcast last night, for the Zoom session. Always great to see you guys. I do maintain in touch with a fairly large number of people from high school because we were all really, really close on the speech team. And I know that marks us as really big nerds, but that's okay because apparently nerds are ruling the world these days, so it all works out. I am at the point where I need to shake this. So
I am straining the orange juice.
She is straining back here. Strain. So there we go. That's going to be good. Our second drink, the Dark and Stormy Daniels. I know what's in the Dark and Stormy. Really, really easy cocktail. It's also one of the IBA cocktails. If you remember right from last week, we're starting to work our way through the IBA cocktails. But we are going to switch it up a little bit because it's not just the Dark and Stormy, but also because Dark and Stormy requires you to have a certain rum that I don't actually have on hand. I know, seems shocking. Yeah, that little chirp that you heard, maybe that was Dorley just running across the floor. She's not injured or hurt or anything. She's just fine. 1 ounce orange juice.
From your amazing juicer.
From my amazing juicer, and I need a strainer because there's something brown in this.
Sorry, it's in the sink.
There we go. I have multiple strainers. It's all good. There we go. There's the 3 ounces of that. And now we put ice in here, and it does specify cubed ice. So we're going to go with my cubes of ice there.
We've got compliments on your music from Sarah and Brooke.
Yay!
We've got a Nerds Rule.
Of course we do. And then we're going to lid this up. Oop, just like that. And whoa, Nelly. Whoa, that's okay. We are going to change this up just a tad, because it can. What happens when your drink with ice is too full to shake it? You find a bigger container. And here what I'm doing is I'm using a blender tin, and my blender tin is going to make the other piece of this, and we're going to shake. All over me! Oh my goodness, that was fun. We're going to do this some more. Yikes. Don't do that, apparently. Wow. Alright, aborted shake. Woo! This is why the opening of your shaker should face the bartender and not the camera, the patron, etc., etc. Now this says that we are supposed to pour it into a great big snifter glass. Okay. Seems a little weird to me. Archipelago's snifter? What do you think, Archipelago or Inuele? We went to Archipelago.
Since we went to Archipelago.
Yeah, that seems right. Okay, I'm going to pour this in like such. And then I am going to add a strainer to it. Oh, look at that. How's my eye on that? Not too shabby, folks. Right there to the wash line. Oh, wash. Poor guy, dead at the end of Serenity. Oh, spoiler? No. Did we mention that we had seen John Wick 4? We probably did.
I think so.
It was pretty awesome. I'm going to use a Surfside Sip Straw for this. I think you've seen the octopus straw that we have here. This little guy, the orange octopus on the blue glass straw. So I'm going to use a different straw. And this looks very much like that straw. It's blue, it's glass, it's got the thin mouth on it, but instead of having an octopus on it, it has a salamander. Look at that. Look at the salamander.
Elizabeth, we will not spoil John Wick. We will spoil Firefly.
Yeah, we're going to spoil Serenity. We will not spoil John Wick. There we go. I unfortunately do not have any mint available. We did go to the store today, we did buy citrus today, and I looked at their mint, and they did have mint, but the only mint they have was these, it was like 4 stems with some scrawny leaves on it, and they wanted like $3 for that bunch. It's like, no! So if you can tell me what's happening with mint in the world, I would love to know, because it's been months since we were able to find a really good batch of mint. And usually the stores are pretty good about having mint on hand. So I don't know what's up. So, dear Star.
Yes.
You, in fact, had a Lapu Lapu at Minibar.
I did. Oh, Keith saw John Wick, the first 3, for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to number 4? Did you watch all 3 in preparation for number 4? Because that's a good thing to do. Feels like it needs a little punch up of maybe some bitters or something, but I think that's pretty credible. My ice isn't as good as theirs.
Your ice isn't as good. There's more orange juice, and I think there was like passion fruit in theirs.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have the menu in front of me. I do have a copy of the menu, the cocktail menu. But
I think so. I'd have to look.
She says passion fruit, so here we go. We're going to add a little passion fruit, which adds some redness to this. Oh my goodness. This isn't actual passion fruit juice or syrup.
Passiola.
This is Passoa.
Passola.
Which is a passion fruit liqueur. I don't think there's passion fruit in this, but she says if they
There
did.
usually isn't, but orange, lemon, passion fruit, vanilla, and nutmeg. I was right. There was passion fruit.
There's
in
no
there.
vanilla. There's no nutmeg in this. I have nutmeg. It's right here. So we're going to do this. Like, you didn't pour that on the glass. It's like, that's because it all goes into here, and then I can just tap it out like such. There we go. There, try that. Or you can mix it in.
Yep.
There you go. Ha! Minibar. Ha ha! Ha ha ha!
Yours was better.
Hush. Yes,
Do you want a taste of this
but-
before it goes away?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I had some.
Okay.
Yes, but that doesn't cost the same as a drink from Minibar.
You're right.
And the only way to get a drink from Minibar is to spend much more than the price of just that cocktail. So, yeah.
Get a view of the salamander because he's so cute.
Hey, I have absolutely no problem with the fact that bars out there make better drinks than I do. Because if they didn't, why would I go to bars, right?
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely fine with you saying, hey, a Michelin-starred restaurant serves a cocktail that is better than your version of that cocktail. Okay. Yeah, I'm competitive. I'm not that competitive. Come on, give me a break. All right, okay, maybe I am some things. I don't know. We'll see. Brooke asks, what kind of mint do you like? And I am fairly certain I always get peppermint and spearmint mixed. But I think spearmint is the sort of the default mint that you find everywhere. I like spearmint in the cocktails. If that is in fact the default mint, I like that mint. Peppermint, the other mint that everybody knows, has a little more bite to it and is a really interesting mix with spearmint, but I don't think I would do full up by itself. Now, there are...
Spearmint is the mint in cocktails.
There are plenty of other mints out there, including a sort of chocolate or cocoa kind of mint, and there's an apple mint, and there's lemon balm, which you can use kind of like mint. It has a little bit more citrusy, lemony scent to it, but you can use it in place. Adds an interesting factor to your cocktails. If it's mint, I will use it, is the issue here, because I can always play around. So, yep, spearmint. What kind of mint do I like? I like all mints. I really like blends of mints, but most of the time when you see me making cocktails, it's spearmint, because it's just easier to find, usually. And right now, when we're having trouble finding mint, pretty much the only mint you're going to get is spearmint, unless you have some secret stash that I don't know about. So there we go. There is the Chief Lapu Lapu, apparently done in the style of Minibar, or in this case, Bar Mini, because they make the drinks and bring them over to Minibar. Confused yet? But done in that same style, with a little addition of Pessoa to add some of that passion fruit flavor to it. I do think the addition of the little bit of redness actually works better, because it brings out some interesting color tones that are worth putting in a snifter like that, whereas if you just put it in a snifter without those tones, it's just kind of orange looking. It's like, eh. I mean, it's better than the usual brown sludge that some of the tiki drinks look like, hence going in opaque ceramic mugs, but that's okay. Okay, so second drink in honor of events of this week or this weekend. So there were all sorts of rumors about indictments being handed down to Mr. Trump this week, and they have to deal mostly with misdemeanors, potentially a felony or two, but they all center around these issues of payments to the porn star actress Stormy Daniels. And it is just too good an opportunity to pass up to come up with a dark and Stormy Daniels cocktail. So I think we've got to do that. So the Dark and Stormy is barely a cocktail. The Dark and Stormy, the classic Dark and Stormy, is Gosling's dark rum and ginger beer. That is all, and in almost a 2-to-1 ratio, it's slightly less than that, of ginger beer to Goslings. And why am I saying Goslings? Because Goslings had the gall to go out and actually trademark the cocktail name Dark and Stormy. So, look, you can make this drink with any other kind of rum you want to make, and Goslings is not going to come and hunt you down unless you are some large manufacturer or a world-renowned restaurant. Make a Dark and Stormy with whatever rum you want. If you're broadcasting anything, though, you might want to be a little more careful about what you call it, and I'm pretty sure we're on safe grounds with a Dark and Stormy Daniels cocktail, because it's not a Dark and Stormy cocktail. We are also going to play around with this a little bit, mostly because I don't believe I have any ginger beer. Now, I can ask Star to go hunt down ginger beer and see if we have some, but in the meantime, I do, in fact, have a little bit of ginger syrup here, and I have some sparkling sort of mineralish water, carbonated mineral water, Topo Chico. And I'm going to use that in place of the ginger beer if it turns out we don't have any ginger beer. But I'm also not going to use Goslings. I am going to use some rum, but I am not going to use all Goslings, because that would be inappropriate. I mean, we have to get the Daniels portion of that cocktail in there, right? So what do you do when a cocktail has the word Daniels in it. Sounds to me like we should be reaching for a whiskey, potentially one from a distillery called Jack Daniels. Do I have any Jack Daniels? Absolutely I do. But it may not be the Jack Daniels that you're thinking of. And no, it's not the high-end Gentleman Jack either. Nope, this is a weakness of mine. When it comes to summertime, I really, really like some lemonade over ice with a shot of Jack Daniels honey liqueur in it. And it just seems like this is the appropriate time to break this container of honey Jack out. So that's what we're going to do for the Daniels portion of this cocktail. So we are going to... Did we find some? Oh, we do have some. Oh, wow. So maybe I'll make two. No,
yeah, because I'd like mine without ginger beer.
You would like yours without ginger beer, but then you probably don't want it with the ginger syrup then.
Go ahead and just make one with the ginger. Whatever.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's going to be your drink anyway.
Right. This will be my drink. Okay. So I want to ask the studio audience then. Should I, in fact, make this in sort of the standard way using ginger beer as the lengthener, or should I play with proportions of Topo Chico and ginger syrup to do the lengthener on this particular cocktail? What say you? We have a vote going on.
Well,
how's that?
We have a honey jack. Oh my God. No.
Yes. Yes, we're using honey jack. Sorry. What's wrong with just Jack? Nothing's wrong with just Jack. For all of you that are into 90s comedies, except that, well, my bottle of Jack Daniels isn't down here, and my bottle of Jack Daniels honey is sitting right here, and I think a little sweetness and a little kind of, I don't know, guilty pleasure is appropriate for this cocktail, wouldn't you say? Huh? All right, so we're going to use the honey jack. Sorry, Brooke. This should be relatively easy, I think. I'm going to use a mixing pint here. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to take I'm going to take one of these glasses. Yep. So we need a lengthener out here. What I'm going to do is put our main spirits in here with some ice, swirl them around, and then I'm going to add them here and lengthen it out with the ginger beer. And then I'll add, or not ginger beer, with the ginger syrup and stuff. So, not with the Topo Chico. Yes, that's what we're doing. This is what I try to do when I'm trying to create drinks on the fly. This is what happens. Yep, that'd be 30 mils. So we want to go 60 mils, so that's twice that. So that's going to be 2 ounces. 1 ounce is going to be Jack Daniels. So Jack Daniels honey liqueur is in fact a honey liqueur. So this is not a true spirit. It is a liqueur. It has been sweetened, and it comes in at 35%. It's been one of those days. Cap. All right. So we're going to go a full ounce of that, or 30 mils. Right. There we go. And then we need 30 mils of a rum. And we want something that's got some oomph to it. And as a consequence, I think what we want to do is an overproof. I'm not going to go straight Jamaican, so I'm not going to reach for the Smith & Cross again. We're going to go for a little more of a blend. And this is the OFTD. So the reason I'm going with 69% is to counter effect the lower ABV of the Jack Daniels honey. And we're going to just do this a single, even split, 1 ounce of each. So here you go, OFTD. And yes, the original description of this drink, of this rum, when it was being taste tested. Why did I put it in this glass? Wow, we're having a day here, aren't we? was "Oh fuck, that's delicious," which is how it got its OFTD moniker, and then later they came up with old-fashioned traditional dark because the other name would not have gone over well in the puritanical United States. The language, oh my goodness. Yeah, but we know what it stands for. Okay, and now we're going to make some ginger component of this. Make a ginger component of that. Because it needs to have some bite to it, right? Ginger syrup is going to add some bite. Could be a little too sweet here, because the honey jack is very sweet as well. So I'm going to be careful. We're only going to go with about 15 mils or half an ounce. All right, there we go. Okay, we need ice in here. Ice, ice, baby. Here's some ice. There you go. And then I will flip this over and we will throw some ice in that glass. Just to sort of chill that glass down. And we're going to want ice in there anyway. All right, we need to stir this. So right now, this looks very much like kind of an old-fashioned, right? Because you've got your spirit in there, 2 ounces of spirit, and then you have added some sugar component to that, a sugar syrup of some sort, in this case ginger syrup. We have not added any bitters to this, which would be the other traditional ingredient in an old-fashioned. But we're not creating an old-fashioned, we're creating a drink to be lengthened. This is essentially a gin and tonic, except made with rum. Oh, that's bizarrely nice. Wow. I'm pretty happy with that. Where's my strainer? Here's a strainer. It's the wrong strainer. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to stick this in here. Just like that. And then we're going to open the Topo Chico. Topo Chico! We're going to hope that doesn't fizz everywhere. And then we are going to pour the Topo Chico in. Now you will most often see a dark and stormy served with a lime wedge. It is not traditional for the dark and stormy to be served with lime juice in it. The dark and stormy's canonical ingredients are just two, and that would be ginger beer, which we're kind of fudging here, and rum. But if I've done this right, we might have a nice new cocktail. Okay. Aw, how about that? We have I just reached over to grab a straw from Surfside Sips, and it's a long pink straw. How appropriate. And it's got a heart on it for love. Aww. We'll stick that straw in there, and then I will take a taste, and we'll determine whether or not it needs a lime component to it, because it may very well benefit from having just a lime wedge on the side or a lime peel twisted and spritzed to give it just a little more zhuzh. Wow, that's very strange. Adding the Topo Chico really brings up the ginger flavor, which was not nearly as present. Star's gonna hate this. Wow.
Probably, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Yeah, I need a peeler.
Yeah, there's a lot of ginger there.
Well, it's funny because it really didn't taste like there was a lot of ginger until I lengthened it with the Topo Chico, and I have no idea why the mineral water would cause the ginger from the syrup to be so prominent. So let's do this. Let's spritz a little
I'll
lime.
go back to my Chief Lapu.
That, I'll sneak that in there. And now let's try this. That's really quite refreshing. It is. If you're looking for a dark and stormy, that's not it. If you're looking for something with a little bit of bite, with certainly some hints of rum and some heat to it, but a weird kind of, what is that sweetness? I'm not really sure. This works out really quite well. I might want a little more Topo Chico in here. I usually find, frankly, for a dark and stormy, that I don't catch the rum. I catch ginger beer. That's all I get. And essentially what it is it's just making your ginger beer alcoholic. There are alcoholic ginger beers out there, and you can do sort of a double hit with that. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the dark and stormy. I actually like this better than a traditional dark and stormy. So I'm actually quite pleased with this. Star doesn't like ginger for the most part, so I knew that this wasn't going to go over well in its beginning. I thought maybe the Honey Jack would help cut a little of that and she'd be happier with it. But man, there is something about adding that Topo Chico that just brings all the ginger to the yard. Whew. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's quite nice. Quite nice. I mean, I could make another one with the ginger beer, but I don't actually want to. So I made her go dig around in the fridge for a ginger beer, and it turns out we're not going to use it because, well, this could have come out really badly, and then I'd have to go to the ginger beer. So it wasn't a bad thing. And this way I know I have at least one bottle of ginger beer on hand. So that's good to know. I don't normally keep ginger beer on hand, obviously. So, all right, what else are we going to do this evening? Well, we'll answer more questions. Do we have questions? Topo! Yeah, we love Topo around here.
I'm supposed to check my battery.
It was very sad that there was a period of time as we were sort of coming out of the COVID, when people started to stop wearing masks and that sort of thing, and Topo Chico was kind of making the news, and then it disappeared because nobody could get Topo Chico. And so it was a matter of every once in a while I would see it in the store and I would just snatch it up because it was really hard to get. I really like Topo Chico. I don't generally, as a rule, like mineral waters. I really like this mineral water, the little bit of carbonation in it, add a little bit of sweetness, add a little bit of bitters to it for just some tang and some spice, and you've got yourself right there a nice refreshing drink that is extremely low ABV. I mean, your bitters obviously have some alcohol in them, but you're using, a couple of dashes of bitters. That's good. Tiki bitters comes in at 44%. Yeah, so that's not bad. But if you're, ice, tonic water, or carbonated mineral water like Topo Chico, maybe squeeze a lime and some syrup, and then a couple of dashes of your bitters, and there you go. You can drink those all night long and be perfectly fine and happy. Not a problem. And everybody will look at you and think that you're drinking something like, I don't know, a gin and tonic, or God forbid, a vodka tonic, something along those lines. So, if you want to feel part of that drinking crowd, but for whatever reason you can't or don't want to be drinking alcohol, at least in serious spirit form, but you don't mind a little bit, like the bitters, it's perfectly great. I do that all the time when we are doing sort of a serious night of drinking and I need to pause a little bit. Yeah, tonic water and some bitters, perfectly reasonable thing to do. All right, we need to get to our last drink here. So we have a bit of bad news. No, it's not a bit of bad news. It's just definitely bad news. So we got a phone call today And my Uncle Jim, the husband to my dad's sister, Josie, passed away sometime either late last night or this morning. We don't know for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just, he'd had health problems for quite a while, and there's been a couple of times where we've been scared that we were going to lose Jim, and, you know, this was his time. So lost Uncle Jim today. Uncle Jim is sort of famous in the lore of Star and Pooch dating history, because the first time that Star met the family, the sort of extended Chicago fam, apparently Jim took her aside to explain to her that if she were looking for getting married, that Pooch, me, had a habit of dating young ladies for a fair amount of time and then not following through on the whole marriage thing. So if she was really interested in getting married, that I was probably not. I think Jim's words were, he is not the marrying kind.
Yeah.
So this went fine with Star, who was recently divorced, and I think she mentioned that, and it was kind of a scandal because the family's really hyper-Catholic. So,
but then they found out I hadn't been married in the Catholic Church.
Right, I mean, she wasn't married to the
okay.
Catholic Church, so it didn't really count, right, from that perspective. And, you know, as we all know, I did finally man up? Yeah, okay, good way to use sexist language there. And proposed to her, and she said yes, unamazingly 6 years ago, a little over 6 years ago, which still kind of boggles my mind. We've been here in the DC metro area for about 14 years, which means we've been married almost half of that. And that just doesn't seem possible, right? But we are. And apparently, just double checking here, hun, still happily married, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's going okay?
Yep,
all right, good. All right, so enough with the haha chuckles. This is a drink called the Jim's Special. And yes, in fact, there is a tiki cocktail. You can find it in Jeff Beachbumberry's Total Tiki app called the Jim's Special. And that is what we are going to be doing this evening. I cannot say that there is any tie between the Jim's Special cocktail and my Uncle Jim.
Is there beer in it?
There is no beer in
then
it. And
there's no relation.
So Jim's drink of choice was, in fact, beer. Just beer. And there are a lot of things that I will do on this show. And, you know, maybe someday you'll see me drinking some beer in a tribute to somebody. And but it's not going to be Jim. Sorry, we're going to do the Jim Special tiki drink because it's Lovecraft cocktails, and by gosh, we like doing tiki cocktails. So that's what we're going to do. And this cocktail is, in fact, a blended cocktail, and we are going to use the spindle blender for this one. So we need one of these wonderful blender tins, like the one I tried to use as a shaker tin and failed miserably, and I know why. So, y'all interested in knowing why it failed?
Because it doesn't seal.
Well, it can. I mean, it's a metal tin. There's no reason why it couldn't seal if, in fact, you situate the other portion of the shaker appropriately. Here's the issue. This is not the shaker that I used. This is a different shaker. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but if you look through there, you can see that the edges of this are essentially smooth down to, about here, which is plenty of room for you to stick another shaker piece there. The one I was attempting to use, and this is my Waring Blender official tin, has a lip about 1 inch to ½ an inch down. I don't know if you can see that. You can probably see it on the outside edge right here. And that is where I couldn't get the seal, and that is why I wound up with alcohol all over me. It's okay. We're done now, and she likes her Lapu Lapu, so it's all okay. Blender tin, time to make some alcohol. Time to make a true tiki drink. How do you know it's a true tiki drink? Because it involves things that pretty much nobody in their right mind has on their bar unless they happen to do tiki drinks, as a matter of course. And in this case, that ingredient is orgeat. Ugh. Oh my goodness, this is going to take a bit. Shake, 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 shake. So, orgeat is essentially, it is essentially an almond milk syrup. And when I say almond milk, I don't mean grocery store almond milk, which is designed to taste like regular milk and not like almonds. This is actually made, well, this is actually handmade from a syrup or from almonds soaked in water and then made into a syrup. But it takes a fair amount of work to get this where it needs to be. It does have natural almond fat in it, and as a consequence, you'll see the syrup coming up to about here, and then from here on up there was kind of a white plug, and that's very much the fat from the almonds. So when you need to use it, if it's the naturally occurring stuff like this is, or the homemade stuff and doesn't have an emulsifier in it, you kind of need to actually give it a little oomph to get it going. So what do we need here? We need a 1/4 ounce of orgeat. O-R-G-E-A-T, but the T is generally not supposed to be pronounced, although there are so many people that pronounce this in so many different ways, including myself, that I don't think you need to be worried about what the proper pronunciation is for it. If you said to a bartender, make me something with orgeat in it, they'd know exactly what you were talking about. Wouldn't be a problem. Unless, of course, they don't have any, and then they can't make you a drink with orgeat. 1/4 ounce of syrup. Simple syrup. Oh man, I almost want to just forego the simple syrup and go with some more orgeat, because it's only a 1/4 ounce, right? Come on. Come on. Here we go. Ta-da. Next up, this cocktail calls for passion fruit syrup. My passion fruit syrup went belly up last week with like green floaty things in it, which is not tasty at all. And I have not had the opportunity to make more passion fruit syrup, especially since there is a decent chance that I will be out of town for a while. I didn't want to make another batch of passion fruit syrup and just have it sitting around and then have it go bad while I was gone. So as a consequence, we're not going to use passion fruit syrup. We're going to reach for Passoa, the passion fruit liqueur. Why is this particularly important? Well, because although Jim just drank beer primarily, he really liked his beer. So I think the upping the alcohol content of this just a bit is a perfect tribute. So we're going to go a full ounce of Passoa. There we go. Passoa. Now we need an ounce of lime juice.
Lime juice.
Lime. Little tartness. Lime juice. Gotta find the lime juice. That says lemon on it. That's orange. This is lime juice. Full ounce lime juice. That's gonna be a lot of tartness. Enjoying this kind of bluesy beat. I'm really into this. I'm liking this. We need a 1/2 ounce of an orange curacao. You could use triple sec if you don't have orange curacao on hand. You could use Grand Marnier if you really wanted to. Any of those would work. We're going to go with the traditional that we always have on hand is the Pierre Ferrand dry curacao, which is actually supposedly sweeter than triple secs, but most of your cheap triple secs are sweeter than this, so I'm not really sure how that all works, and I don't want to explain it. I just used this dry curacao when it calls for curacao. It also goes really fine with the Pierre Ferrand, what is it, 1840
Yeah.
cognac. The two are just, they seem to work just fantastically together. Okay, now we're gonna get a little funky and weird on you. So this calls for 2 ounces of Myers rum. I ain't got no Myers rum. We don't have, I don't think. Was there Myers down there? No, there was something else, some other, maybe there was Myers. I know there was Malibu. We're not going anywhere near that. While she's looking for the Myers rum, we're going to go with the other weird ingredient. Yes, you are looking in exactly the right spot for where there would be Myers, if there's Myers. The other ingredient, the other spirit ingredient, is a full 2.5 ounces. 2.5 ounces.
Myers.
No Myers. Okay. 2.5 ounces of a Reposado tequila. Took me a bit to find a Reposado tequila because mostly what I have is añejos and blancos. I don't have a whole lot of Reposados. But we're going to make this work. We're going to go 2.5 ounces of El Tesoro Reposado tequila. There's 2. There's a half. There's a half. Right. There we go. So now we got the tequila in there. We need something else. We need rum. Wait, this was coming from here. Yeah, this is one of the other reasons of, like, you should set your bar up ahead of time for doing broadcasts, so you know where things are and have a place for them. Tonight, we're just spread out all over the place. God
Myers
bless you.
Was one of my home top shelves, along with Bacardi Black,
Yeah.
for much of college.
Star and
you
I
know,
bonded over drinking Bacardi Black when everybody else was thinking that Bacardi Gold or Bacardi Silver was the end-all be-all of rums. So, you know, we were snobbish even back then when it came to rum.
Yep.
We need 2 more ounces of rum. Have you been counting? Right? So there's 2.5 ounces of tequila in here, and there's going to be 2 ounces of rum in here.
And an ounce of Pasola.
And an ounce of Passoa, and a ½ ounce of Curacao. Breaking that up is a whole whopping ½ ounce of syrup and 1 ounce of lime. Ouch. I'm just going to say now, ouch. All right, so we need 2 ounces of a dark rum. We're going to go in a direction that, yeah, we're going to go there. I'm going to use a far, far better rum than, oh, I should not do this. No, this is bad. This is a bad idea. Okay, we're going to do part of this. Okay, so what we're going to do, I want the blackness, I want the deep caramel richness of the Myers. But I don't want to do this all with 151 Demerara, because that would hurt. But we are going to do a full ounce of it. Hey, we got 2 ounces of rum to play with, so why not make one of them deep, caramely, yummy 151 from Lemon Heart and Sons. This is Demerara rum from Guyana. It's going to go gorgeous in here. And then we'll go with something else. We'll go with the Flor de Cana 12-year. This is one of the older expressions of Flor de Cana that I have. Also really, really lovely. And this will help lengthen the Lemon Heart. There we go. Nicaraguan rum. Really good. Fully recommend Flor de Cana. All right. Let me double check here. Orgeat, simple syrup, passion fruit syrup replaced by Passoa, lime juice, orange curacao, 2 ounces of rum, which we split between Lemon Heart 151 and 12-year Flor de Cana, and then 2.5 ounces of a Reposado tequila, and we used El Tesoro for that. Did I say the 1 ounce of lime juice? If I didn't say 1 ounce of lime juice, there is an ounce of lime juice in here. And what we need next is 8 ounces of crushed ice. So we're not actually going to use crushed ice. We are going to use pebble ice. And there's 3 ounces. And there's 6 ounces. And we're going to eyeball that and say that that's, yeah, 8. Might be closer to 9. It'll be okay. And then this goes under the blender for no more. No more. The instructions specify no more than 5 seconds. That seems like right about 5 seconds to me. Now I need a tiki mug for this. I think we should go with an actual tiki mug, and not. You know, we do have the. We've got the rat driving the car down below.
Yeah.
The sort of jalopy thing. I think
Yeah.
that would be. That's a good one. Could use that one. Man, I'm a little scared of this drink. Obviously, I've never had it before, but that is an ungodly amount of alcohol in there. Yep. So what do we got? This is a
Mundo Tiki. We got it from
yeah. This is
Mug Crate.
Muntiki Imports, designed by Doug P. Gosh, and this is a 2020 mug. And you know, mid-century America did a lot of this whole weird jalopy kind of imagery, and that's what we have here. And we're going to use that. It has a tiny little mouth on it, which is kind of problematic, but we'll see what we can do. What do you know? It's bigger than I thought. All right. I know. That's what she said. All right, we're going to throw a little more crushed ice in there. Crushed pebble ice. Right, go in there. Go. There we go. And then we need to throw a wee bit of a straw in there.
Wee bit.
Just a wee bit of a straw, don't you know? All right, what should we do? What should we do? It should be another Surfside Sip straw, right? Yes?
Yes.
No? All right. Just a straight up red glass straw? Sure, why don't we do that? We'll just stick that in there. That actually works pretty well.
Is the mug a tribute to Ed Roth's Rat Fink cartoon?
Yes.
It is the year of the Rat Rod mug.
Yes. But that is done in that style, yes. All right, we are going to smack, not mint, we are smacking some Thai basil. You could garnish this up with whatever you want. This mug does not lend itself particularly well to garnishing, as you can tell. Right, so there's your garnish on the back end. We're going to give this a try. This is the Gym Special with 2 ounces of rum and 2.5 ounces of tequila in it. Wish me well as we enter into this. This is why people are better at making cocktails than I am. That shouldn't work. Wow. Oh. That's really good.
Really?
Yeah, that is exceptionally good. I don't think that would be nearly as good with Myers rum in it, quite frankly. Wow. I mean, this is not a drink that I'm going to order 3 of in an evening, that's for sure. I probably want to share it with somebody. Hi, love. That's good. I know.
Wow.
I would not have thought that the rum and the tequila would have merged that
Quite
well.
so well,
but,
yeah.
And the 1/4 ounce of Orgeat,
Yeah.
I can tell that it's there. It's binding those ingredients together.
Yeah.
It's like it's the thread that holds this all together is that 1/4 ounce of Orgeat. And I think they're right to go 1/4 ounce of Orgeat, 1/4 ounce of Simple, because another 1/4 ounce of Orgeat and it would take over.
Be too sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
impressed.
I'm very impressed with this.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's a Gym Special. If you're interested in the knowledge about this particular cocktail, I did not jot it down, but it is available in Jeff's books and in his Total Tiki app. That would be Jeff Beachbumberry and his app and his cocktail books, which are amazing. And we all owe, anybody that is a Tiki fan owes Jeff a great deal of, I don't know, recognition, honor, something like that, because of all of the work that he has done in tracking down these recipes and that sort of thing. Here we go. This is the Jim special. We've done a Dark and Stormy Daniels. That's right here. And then we did a Chief Lapu Lapu in favor of, or in honor of going to mini bar on Friday and celebrating with Terry and Emily. So thank you all for tuning in to yet another week of Quarantiki cocktails with Lovecraft cocktails. And as we say on the show when we are getting ready to sign off, drink baby drink. No, that's not what we say. We say the end is nigh for another week. So I'm going to drink and we're going to say goodbye. Adios everyone. Talk to you later. See you next week. Here, I'm drinking now.